Yes. We are inviting podcasters and influencers and independent journalists who aren't constrained by this legacy media bias to join us. They deserve the privilege of covering the president.
And so whether people hired me or not was not as important as being told by the best that I was good at.
It was the moment everyone's been talking about. Whoopi Goldberg and Caroline Leavitt, two powerhouse voices, clashing on live TV. But what really happened? Was it a fair debate, or did Whoopi completely shut Caroline down?
War fighters is low. The president is shaking up the Pentagon and the Department of Defense, of course, with Secretary Hegseth leading, and he has the right to do that. It's actually quite common from administration to administration to do such a thing.
The president. Let's break it all down, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, let's set the scene. This all went down on The View, where Caroline Leavitt and Whoopi Goldberg were invited to discuss lawsuit.
Earn support, and we wanted to continue that approach at the White House. So we've added the new media seat in the White House briefing room.
That's been fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are inviting podcasters and influencers and independent journalists who aren't constrained by this legacy media bias to join us. They deserve the privilege of covering the President of the United States just as much as any other legacy media outlet who has spewed lies about President Trump for years.
Lies about President Trump. Lies about the people who work for President Trump, lies against people like yourselves. This is what the media, so many in the media have done. I'm not saying all of them, because there are some good eggs out there for sure. But there is definitely the sense that they drove this narrative, that they pushed this leftist agenda. Didn't they forget to talk about Biden's mental decline for quite some time?
Yeah, that was...
At first, it seemed like a normal debate. Two strong women sharing their opinions. But things took a sharp turn when Caroline made a statement that Whoopi just couldn't let slide. Caroline, I think. Whoopi, wait, hold on. Are you seriously saying that? And just like that, the tension in the room went from 0 to 100. Whoopi, known for her no-nonsense attitude, wasn't about to let Caroline's comment go unchallenged. But
they will tell you off the record to your face that they knew Biden was incompetent,
Yeah,
that the White House staff sometimes weren't showing up until noon, no work was being done, nobody knew who was in charge. We all knew the truth in this room, and they tried to tell us, don't believe your lying eyes. He's, has all this energy and spirit. It was always a lie, and shame on the media for peddling it.
What did Caroline say that triggered such a strong response? Let's rewind for a second. The topic was The View, which has been a hot-button issue in the U.S. for years. Caroline's stance was, briefly explain her stance, while Whoopi has always been vocal about Whoopi's stance. So, when Caroline said, repeat controversial statement, Whoopi saw it as a direct challenge. Whoopi, I'm sorry, but that's just not how it works. Let me explain why you're wrong. And that's when Whoopi dropped the mic, figuratively, of course. But what did she say that left everyone speechless? Let's get into the details. Whoopi's response wasn't just a quick comeback.
He understands the depth of the corruption at these institutions, which the American people re-elected President Trump to shake up. And I think it's quite despicable to see many networks in this room who have had chyrons on their television screens labeling Mr. Bongino as a far-right podcaster. He is not. He is a former law enforcement agent. He is a former Secret Service agent who put his life on the line to protect this country, and that is why the President of the United States has...
It was a full-on breakdown of why Caroline's argument didn't hold up. She started by saying Whoopi's first point, and honestly, it was hard to argue with her logic. Whoopi, you can't just counterpoint. That's not how this works. Here's why. But Caroline wasn't ready to back down. She fired back with Caroline's counterargument, and for a moment, it seemed like she might have a point. But Whoopi, she wasn't having it. Whoopi, no. Let me stop you right there. And that's when the audience lost it. Whoopi's comeback wasn't just logical.
And trusted him for this important role. He's also an outsider to this Washington swamp. And we often see that when outsiders are appointed to such coveted positions, a lot of people in this city get very, very nervous. And they should be, because Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Attorney General Bondi are focused on rooting out the corruption at these agencies and ending the weaponization of government once and for all. I'd like to end with something. As you all know... You know what, James? I'm feeling generous. Go ahead.
It was emotional, powerful, and straight to the point. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about who won the argument. It was about the bigger picture. The internet exploded after this moment. People were divided. Some thought Whoopi went too far, while others felt she was absolutely right. But one thing's for sure, this clash will be remembered for a long time. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? Whether you agree with Whoopi or Caroline, one thing's clear: debates like this are important. They push us to think, to question, and to grow. But at the end of the day, who do you think won this clash?
It will recoup American tax dollars. We've funded more than $300 billion to Ukraine's national defense. It will provide these very critical minerals and rare earth minerals to the United States of America for our own national security. It will also create an incredible economic partnership between the American people and the Ukrainian people, who are going to need to rebuild their country after this brutal war once it ends. So this is a significant step towards peace. We expect the deal to be signed this week. And as President Trump said yesterday, if Zelensky wants to come to this White House to sign that deal, he is open to that.
Do you think he's going to come to show up to sign some sort of deal?
We hope that he will, as President Trump said.
Tell me the latest about the meeting with Putin. Is that a go just yet?
There's nothing on the books just yet. The president will continue to keep everybody informed on that. But I know that Steve Witkoff and Secretary Rubio and our National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and the president's entire delegation, who he's tasked with ending this conflict, continue to be engaged with the Russians as well as the Ukrainians. You have to talk to both sides to bring the war to an end. The president had direct dialogue with Putin, and he has said that he believes both sides of this war want to see it end. It's in the interest of both of these countries to stop the killing and to ensure that we can have a peaceful world and economic prosperity for all.
So, Caroline, you made some headlines.
Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed the breakdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.